All right, Bulls and Bears, back with another dose. Sorry, let me adjust my mic. Welcome to 2025. Wait. Never mind, I already said that on January 1st. I forgot, I put out a video on January 1st. So maybe you weren't there, so welcome to 2025 anyways. A lot of economic, financial news to get caught up on. As usual, Bull to the bus, BX4 news, ride the bull, prepare for the bear. The economy is stronger than some people think. Is it true? Well, we're seeing headlines like this. New car sales rose to 5-year high in 2024, helped by hybrids. So if the consumer was so maxed out, how are car sales rising to a 5-year high? This is new cars. These are not inexpensive cars. These are not cheap cars. Cars still haven't gotten down to where they were in 2022. We're approaching 2022 levels, but we're way above where we were before near hyperinflation ensued starting in 2020. Well, here's what's happening, folks. It's on the back of borrowed money. We see debt continue to go higher for car loans and all other assets, all other areas. We see debt increasing. There's no area. Housing, auto loans, credit cards, student loans, everything continues to increase. And as long as the banks are going to be allowed to operate like this, you can see what many people think is surprising. Wow, car sales increasing, housing prices not crashing like many people predicted many years ago when home prices got past 2008 levels, folks. This is all on the back of borrowed money. Not all, but for the most part. Yes, there's cash buyers out there, but those are a very small portion in automobile sales. Now, in home sales, when you look at cash buyers, a lot of it is big multinational, multi-million dollar, sometimes multi-billion dollar investors. And those are the companies that come in and buy homes for cash. But the average person looking to buy a home to live in, having to borrow money to live in the home. And this is out of Reuters, by the way. I have people asking me all the time, JJ, how can new car sales hit a 5-year high? I thought prices were too high. I thought nobody can afford these cars. Yes, it's true. Nobody can afford them. That's why people are borrowing money. When people stop borrowing money and start paying cash for cars or everything else, instead of running up credit cards, paying cash for even groceries and car repairs, then you know that the economy is strong. So the economy is strong as long as people can borrow money, folks. That's the bottom line. Continuing on here with the car sales, GM Ford report best annual U.S. sales since 2019 as the automobile recovery continues. GM more than 2.7 million vehicles sold, up 4.3% from a year earlier, even at these nearly record-breaking prices. Remember, they did come down a bit. That also helped with sales. Ford reported 2024 sales of 2.08 million vehicles, up just under 2 million from 2023. Ford, GM, both up. Even with prices at nosebleed levels, people are still able to access credit, and therefore they can buy these vehicles. And the crazy part is, I think it's crazy, maybe you will too. The crazy part is close to 25% of people with car loans are underwater on their loans, but yet banks are still loaning out money. Look at commercial real estate, all the underwater commercial real estate loans, those banks are still loaning out money. It's almost as if someone's going to come in and rescue the banks, even if all the loans go bad. It's almost as if the banks no longer care about giving out loans to people that can't pay it back. Remember back in October, we showed you headlines like this one. Americans doomed, 22% owe more than their car is worth. That was October. Now it's even worse. It's going to be approaching 25%. We'll have to see the fourth quarter end numbers when they come out at the end of January, I believe. But my guess is that it's going to be about 1 in 4 car loans are going to be underwater, because back in October it was 22%. And that was quoting the end of the third quarter numbers. So now the end of the fourth quarter, what's your guess? Is it going to be 25%? Is it going to be 1 in 4 vehicle loans underwater? That's what it looks like based on the trajectory that we're seeing here. Folks, no, this is not a strong economy. This is people on borrowed money. We see that credit card delinquencies are the worst in 13 years. We talked about that just, 1 or 2 reports ago. We see nearly 1 in 4 car loan notes underwater. Folks, it's continuing to get worse. It's just a matter of how the system is going to be rescued, or how the consumers in this case are going to be rescued. Will it be massive debt forgiveness? Will it be some sort of big crisis that unfolds that's going to call for more forgiveness, more rescue programs like we saw in 2020? I would say that that's definitely very likely, especially when you look at everything that's happening. Look at how strange 2025, the start of it's already been. We've got the situation down in New Orleans. We've got the Tesla vehicle exploding, and the guy did it for, I think, political reasons in front of the tower of the incoming quote unquote leader. So very, very interesting the way things are playing out. We've got this weird fog. I haven't really talked about it, but a lot of people on social media are reporting this strange fog with a strange smell, and it looks to be some sort of chemical attack. I don't know if I even can wrap my head around that, so I'm not going to really report it, but there's a lot of other people talking about it here. So just be on the lookout, folks. A lot of weird, a lot of strange things. Things don't add up. Things don't feel right. I continue to be a cautious investor. Most of my cash on the sidelines, waiting for who knows what to unfold, but I still do not feel safe putting a larger portion into the markets at this point, for lots of different reasons that we continue to talk about pretty much every episode here in these reports. And every day I just continue to read more unhinged stories of people just snapping, losing it, people being set on fire in the New York subways. We've got a delivery driver, a food delivery driver, pizza, ended up body piercing their customer because of a bad tip. Pregnant woman body pierced over a bad tip. She left the driver supposedly a $2 tip because the pizza was cold, it was late, and she felt that that's all the driver deserved. Right? So the driver came back later, I guess, with an accomplice and ended up doing the body piercing. And the lady that got pierced was pregnant. And it's just sad, folks. You leave a $2 tip to somebody, they're going to come back later and try to unalive you. Pizza delivery driver trying to unalive you over a $2 tip. What happened to the days when tips were just that? They were just tips. There was something extra. Something, even if you got 50 cents, you should be happy because it's a tip. Now, if you don't leave people a certain tip, well, certain restaurants will call the cops on you because you have a mandatory 18% tip and maybe even 20% in some restaurants. We have that. But delivery drivers living off of tips, literally, like you're not getting paid enough hourly. And the same thing with restaurants. You're not getting paid enough hourly to survive. So it's up to the customer who's already paying for the food. It's up to the customer to make sure that these people can still make a living by giving enough tip. And then you have greedflation on top of that. You have the companies not paying. That's bad enough. You have them overcharging for the food. We're going to talk about greedflation here in just a little bit in more detail with the food industry. So you have greedflation, portion sizes getting smaller, like Chipotle. Did you guys see that Chipotle video where they're making the sizes smaller? People were protesting and complaining and filming it. There's another restaurant actually accused of greedflation too, and shrinkflation with smaller portion sizes. So you have all this, and yet people are expected to pay the wages of these delivery people. And now if you don't pay them enough, they might come back and try to break into your house and try to body pierce you. It's crazy, folks. It's insane, but it doesn't end. Still on this topic, folks, take a look. Arby's. Yeah, Arby's faces legal action over greedflation. So now people are suing the restaurants. Right? Who has time to do this? Who has time to do this? If I don't like food at a restaurant, or the portion sizes, or both, I just will stop going there. If enough people stop doing that, the restaurant's going to go out of business. Who has time to sit there and sue over a meal that's too small? Arby's may claim to have the meats, but a new lawsuit claims the restaurant chain is engaging in greedflation by secretly offering less food for the same price, ripping off customers who are unaware of the portion shrinkage. How's about this? How's it a secret? You get your food, maybe it's in a wrapper, maybe you open it up, you look at it. Is it big? Is it not big? Is it not big enough? If it is, go ahead, be on your way. If it's not, take it back to the restaurant and complain. If they don't want to get you your money back and do an exchange, or give the food back, they give you your money back, then Stop complaining, right? I'm not sure if you'll get your money back or not, but stop going there. The suit filed in Queens County Supreme Court alleges that Arby's deceptively continues to sell its fries and beverages in smaller sizes, which are now substantially smaller than the old sizes. Okay. Again, how is it a secret if you can look at it? Is the food hidden? Is it invisible food? You can't see if it's the right size or not before you start eating it. The suit claims the fast food giant similarly shrank drink sizes. But my question is, how are they doing this in secret, right? You can see your food before you consume it. You can see the drink. You can see how much it is. The lawsuit says Nelson and others, this is the main claimant, weren't expecting to receive the smaller portion sizes. As a result, paid relatively more for proportionately smaller sizes of drinks than they would have otherwise. Insane, folks. Who has time to do this? I barely have time to make these videos. I'm not going to spend time suing Arby's over a small size. I might stop going there. I might not give them my business, but I'm not going to sit around and do a lawsuit against them. It's crazy, folks. And they're even talking about it in the Sun. Here, Arby's accused of greedflation after angry customer spots substantially smaller portions despite price increases. The kids' fries seem to have replaced the small fries. Oh no, what are we going to do, folks? There's a lot of problems in the world, but this should be priority. I think we need to have some action taken against these against these restaurants, folks. What do you think about that? Beyond ridiculous? Is it just me? Or is this actually beyond ridiculous? A greedflation lawsuit because of smaller fries. All right, people, on to other news. Retail apocalypse saw a 57% increase in store closings in 2024. Set a new record, folks. Worse than 2020? Is that what it means here? 57% increase. 2020 we thought was going to be the pinnacle or the peak of the store closures because of the health crisis and all that. 2024 was not the best year for businesses. Retailers closing more than 7,300 stores, up 57% from 2023. The retail apocalypse 2024. The highest number since 2020. Okay, so we didn't break the 2020 record. Let's see here. According to CoreSite research data, the brick and mortar retail sector saw 50 retail bankruptcies in 2024. Compared with 25 in 2023, we had stores like the Container Store go out of business. Big Lots, Party City. Well, Big Lots got bought up. There might be some stores opening. They got rescued at the last minute. Discount chains like Family Dollar, CVS, Walgreens closed hundreds of stores. We also saw the 99-cent store. Still sad over that one. Closed down here. Not just in California, I think nationwide. So the worst since the health crisis, folks. I mean, what does that tell you? Is that a strong economy? Is that what a strong economy is? This many stores closing. Apparently everybody's got money, or everybody can borrow money when you look at the car sales increasing again. And back to the shrinkflation in the food and the greedflation, what they're being sued for. Postal workers got body pierced inside of a New York City deli over food dispute. Somebody named Cruz is charged with second-degree moideor linked to the slaying of Ray Hodges, according to New York City Police Department, over a food portion size. Folks, people are losing it. People are so broke, they're freaking out over one missed French fry or sizes getting smaller. A New York City woman was arrested in connection. Alleged body piercing of U.S. worker inside of Harlem Deli. Charged with second degree after the slaying of Ray Hodges. Incident occurred at 2:38 p.m. Hodges was on the job when the situation occurred. There's the person. Wow. The employee at the deli told the news outlet the fight broke out over a food order. The suspect was upset because one person placed their order before the other one. Yeah, they don't play around in New York. In New York, people don't be cutting. They'll talk right over you. They'll cut you off. Very interesting the way they act there in New York, but this is just beyond insane, folks, what we're seeing here. And yes, this stuff's always happened. There's always been freaks, weirdos, losers, criminals, but it just seems to be getting more and more every time you look at the news, doesn't it? All right, let's talk about this. New jobless claims data shows labor market slowdown is gradual. All right, so we had in December, 211,000 initial jobless claims for the week. Multiply that by 4, you get close to what you have in a month, over 850,000. That's a lot of layoffs, folks. Down from 220,000. So because it's down from 220,000 the week before, that is good news. So the implosion of the economy is slowing down. It's not imploding as quickly because you have people still able to borrow money, folks. As long as the money can continue to flow, the money velocity from the banks into the hands of the consumers, or into the bank accounts or on the credit cards of the consumers, the economy is going to continue to chug along until we see something big, something massive come in to disrupt the entire financial monetary transaction mechanism, folks. This is how it's going to be, and cost of living is going to remain high until something big comes in and takes this down. Will it be the drones? Will it be the weird fog? Will it be something else within the banking system? We see a lot of plane crashes happening right now, folks. A lot of weird stuff going on. I don't like it. I'm remaining cautious. What are you doing at this time? Are you going all in? Or do you feel like I feel something ain't right? There's a lot of weird stuff going on. Be cautious. Anyways, keep stacking, everybody. Hope you guys like this report. And we'll see you next time on this channel. Please make sure you're subscribed. Bye for now, everybody. Peace.